All right, with this one right here, we didn't got Turner, Wicks, music video, and then you got the Wicks with Turner. You got Turner, and just with the Wicks, the music video, especially with the music, the music video, the official music video, and you got Turner, especially with Turner and him having his whole Wicks, but you got the Wicks and just with the just this one right here, with the Wicks and the Turner and this whole dismiss, Wicks, but Wicks and everything else and Turner and just with the Wicks.
Uh,
Vitali.
bah, uh. Bah. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch. Never again will I slip. Nah, I want blood, never been crip. Straight out the mud, forever been lit. Don't run, don't trip. Fill up the clip. If I pull up, circle the strip. Shake it for me, twerk it a bit. The life that will I slip. Nah, I want blood, never been crip. Straight out the mud, forever been lit. Don't run, don't trip. Fill up.
Ooh, don't run, don't trip. Hey, I want the blood. Hey, what do you say? Hey, like they say, we don't want that. We want the blood. Hey, with the whole thing, especially with the whole thing, like already discrimination, like the whole thing is discrimination. The way the whole thing is coming, like, hey, don't trip, don't script, don't even, put police, like, don't even like much strict. You know how the whole thing, like he said, we want that whole, contagion right there.
The clip, if I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit. The life that I'm living is hurting a bit. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch. Never again will I slip. I want blood, never been crip. Straight out the mud, forever been from Wickes, bitch. Never again will I slip. I want blood, never been crip. Straight out the mud, forever been lit. Don't run, don't trip. Fill up the clip.
Ooh, don't run, don't trip. Straight out the mud, straight out the zip. Ooh, straight out the zip. And then you got Ji in it too. Like you got you got most of the Muskets guys like coming into it, especially with this whole thing, like everything else, like especially catching up on it too. Like it's a lot of catching up to do with this whole thing, like especially with a lot of these other intunists. Like it's just you got a lot of intuna weights and all these other, expressions.
If I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit. The life that I'm living is hurting a bit. One eye open when I'm sleeping. The Glock 17 is appealing. I used to let that flock no reason. Make it pop the weekend. Everyone's bad to the heart, stop beating. Grew up or screw up without no feelings. Introduced to the game when I blew up. The mask is not for trick or treating. Most of my old friends bitter. Girls keep saying I'm different from. Introduced to the game when I blew up. The mask is not for trick or treating. Most of my old friends bitter. Girls keep saying I'm different from niggas. I was stressed out pouring liquor, hurting my head, hurting my liver. I don't play.
Ooh, I was dressed up pouring up liquor. I was dressed up pouring up liquor. The anus is tearing up my tearing up my, just the. I didn't catch the one, but he said turn up his inside or somewhere, like, oof. And then the mask is not for trick or treat. Hey, like they say, especially when it comes to that time of day where it's like it gets real sketchy, like the whole thing and everything else. Like they say, people put on those masks, people put their whole thing on, and they have that man, for strips. Hey, the whole thing, like he said, competition.
On beginner, fuck that, stop that, back that smoke and pop that. Christian Dior, just got blood on that. They're not bad, just bad with a cognac. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch. Never again will I slip. I want blood, never been crip. Straight out the mud, forever been lit. Don't run, don't trip. Fill up the clip. If I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit. The life that I'm living is hurting a bit. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch. Never again will I.
Ooh, the life that I'm living is hurting a bit, especially, especially as you. I don't know, it just comes with a benefit. Like I can't really get on the details, explain the details. I can't really get into those details because it's like, it's just you got different reroutes and everything else. So it just comes with different reroutes and stuff like that, like how you see it, how everything else, like especially how it's just publishing and everything else, how it's sketching.
I slip, I want blood, never been crip, straight out the mud, forever been lit, don't run, no trip, fill up the clip, if I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit, the life that I'm living is hurting a bit. Make a movie with a clip, make them drip like Mr. Porter. I'm rising it with intent like Scorcher, baby, bring it, bring it. I don't wanna be civil, I wanna go hop in a Civic. They're not real, just real in lyrics. I'm with bro and you know he's with it. Free up Tiny, taught me to whip it. And he's younger than me, he's different. Free up Natty, taught me patience. Gonna be back soon, I'm waiting. I ain't never had no good relationships, so my exes fill up with hatred. I was in the nine with a blade like Freddy Krueger, and I was in the woods like Jason. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch, never again.
Ooh, I like that one right there. He said like Freddy and Jason. Ooh, Freddy and Jason. And that's the most scariest thing you could put onto it, like the mixture and everything else, like Freddy and Jason. Like combine those two out, I would love to be one of those, because those, those are one of my favorite characters, especially on the holidays, like the holidays of Halloween, like hey, they come indeed, like they really come indeed.
I slip, I want blood, never been crip, straight out the mud, forever been lit, don't run, no trip, fill up the clip, if I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit, the life that I'm living is hurting a bit. The hammer never came from Wickes, bitch, never again will I slip, I want blood, never been crip, straight out the mud, forever been lit, don't run, no trip, fill up the clip, if I pull up, circle the strip, shake it for me, twerk it a bit, the life that I'm living is hurting a bit.
Sheesh, I was rocking with this one though right here. Like, hey, it got a lot of lyrics into it. Like he said, the lyrics and the lyrics ain't real, but the whole thing. Hey, like, hey, I didn't, I'm trying to catch on with a thing, but it's a lot of other stuff going on. Like, especially with this one right here, the Wickes and everything else. But you got Turner, especially with everything else. Like he had it on some other vertical. Like it was coming from all type of sides and airports and everything else. But you got Wickes and everything else, coming in tune with this one, especially with the music video and with this whole thing coming to it's madness. But Wickes and Turner, most definitely check this one out. Everything else, but just with this one.